tattoo the world.
Once you had an idea for your business, how long did it take to make it a reality?
About 6 months, realistically. 6 months, a lot of waking up every morning, brainstorming, thinking how I could execute these ideas and these goals to like even get people to even look at me for tattoos, because I never had done it except for like the apprenticeship in the shop. A lot of like PR, like personal relations with people, a lot of like going on Facebook, going out to the mall, seeing people with tattoos, talking to them, seeing what people liked, seeing what skills I had to develop in order to be able to tattoo someone at a good quality and not be like those regular shit artists that you see just jumping out from nothing and not doing good work, A lot of that, a lot of watching videos, a lot of watching my mentor. So yeah, it took about like a good 6 months before I could really get all the equipment, have people already willing to come to me, have business cards, started a small little Facebook page with like 2 likes on it. So it took 6 months to like really build all that financially and everything, Financial aspect of it, because a lot of times I did things for no money. Like I would go do tattoo parties, drive an hour into Arlington Heights, not make no money there, still do a tattoo, but I'd come home with experience and I'd come home with people knowing me, but I didn't make no money. So that was like discouraging a lot, because bills still need to get paid. My landlord doesn't care, you know what I'm saying? ComEd don't care, gas company don't care, my son don't care, my girl don't care, you know what I'm saying? So like that was the hardest thing, like sometimes waking up and being like, damn, I know I'm not gonna make that much this week, but I need to get my shit out there, my name out there. I need to get experience. And so those were the discouraging times. Like, damn, should I just go get a job? Like, no, fuck this, I'm gonna struggle. I'd rather struggle for this, you know what I'm saying?
That's what you love?
Yeah. Cause working factory jobs, I did all that. It just, that's how I got into the tattoo. When I worked factory jobs, I was tired, and then I just quit one day and dumped all my money into,
Yeah.
So.
How did it long for your business? How long did it take for your business to reach break even?
I would say the first 6 months of initial startup, it was just me spending money, not making shit. Whatever I was making was going to bills, so it was almost like I was working 6 months without a paycheck. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then after I got all the equipment, it took about 6 months to a year for me to really start to see like profit, like actual profit. And what I mean by profit, like profit that you or your husband would see when you work 40 hours a week, mm-hmm. you paid your bills, and whether it's $5 or $500, that was your profit, that's your extra. So it took almost 6 months to a year for me to actually get to that point to where it was like, okay, the bills are paid, but now I still have a little bit of extra money and I'm only tattooing. So that was good after those 6 months to a year, you know what I'm saying? That was good, yeah, that was fun. It was finally paying off. It was like...
Your business.
The important element that drives the success of my business, honestly, I think is me. I think I sell myself more than anything. I see people come back. I see people that I've tattooed in the beginning, the first year when I was not that good, and I see them come back now. And I see them tell me, man, I come back because of you, because you are a great guy, or you really care about the work, and you may have not been the best artist back then, but you're progressing and you're trying and you care. And I think that keeps me ahead of other artists. I know other tattoo artists that are great tattoo artists, but I think that they're not the best people inside. They don't always know how to treat people, or they do 2/3 of the work, and then that 1/3 is the people relations, and that's where they fuck up. They're not as social. So I think that makes people want to keep coming to me, because they almost feel like they're kind of loyal to me in a sense, because I am so nice and I'm so willing to give more, and it almost, I don't know, I think that keeps me ahead of the game. I really do. I think that beats my talent. You know what I'm saying? I do. I really do.
You can be a good tattoo artist, but if you can't
a
sit
shit
there and talk
person.
to people,
Right.
then
That's what I'm
that's not
saying.
gonna make them wanna come back.
And I'm not gonna say any names, but I've met other people that come to me, they get tattoos, and they're like, "Oh, well, I used to go to this guy, but man, bro, I don't like the way he treats. I just don't like the way he is. And you're not as good as him, but I feel way more comfortable with you." So that to me is like that's like freaking gold. You know what I'm saying? So I love that. I want to keep trying to always provide that for people more. I mean, my talent, of course, I want to give people quality work,
Yeah.
but I want to make sure that I treat them right and the relationship is good before the work is. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Looking back, what do you wish you would have done differently?
I wish I would have invested way more money, all of my money, back then, and not been scared to lose $1 back then quicker. You know, I'm a firm believer in that, like, you know, scared money don't make money. So I wish back then when certain opportunities came about, and instead of me looking at it like, damn, that's a heavy price tag on that opportunity, looking back at it now, it wasn't a heavy price tag. It was just, you know, like, so yeah, I wish I would have dumped all my money into those opportunities back then, because then I would have been further now.
Yeah.
So it was that fear. So I regret having that fear of that money hold me back, you know?
Yeah. Looking ahead, what do you see as your biggest opportunities?
My biggest opportunities are the people that I meet on my daily journey. Because it's not what you know, it's who you know. So if I would have never met my landlord here, I would never be able to try to open up another business with him, which we're trying to do gaming cafes. If I would have never met some of these other people that I have in my life, I would never have silent partners like I have now. If I would have never met one of my guys that just got introduced, I haven't seen him for 10 years. He's a great artist, does great with canvas and other things, and he's starting to come over here and do an apprenticeship. If I'd have never met him, he's a great artist, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think it's the people that I meet on a daily basis that carry me to the next level, whether their opportunity or their knowledge or just something that they have that I didn't have, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think keeps me growing, really, as opposed to the talent and everything else. That does help, but it is really who you know sometimes, you know what I mean? It really is. So I think that kind of, you know.
What are your biggest threats?
My biggest threat is myself. Honestly, my biggest threat is myself. There's plenty of money to go around for everyone. There's plenty of food on the table to go around for everyone. I'm a firm believer in that. There's plenty to go around for everyone. So I don't worry about like competition and certain things like that. I worry about what I can cause harm to my own business by staying up late, not responding back to people, not or blowing people off, or if I party one night and then I don't wake up early the next day. That's my biggest threat. Not being 100% when I tattoo someone, not being 100% honest. So I am my own worst enemy, especially for my business, because it's like, it's when you're your own business owner, it's like a thin line. You know, you ever heard that? You're on thin ice. You kind of really are. You're on thin ice until like 5 or 6 years into the business, and then even then, you're still on thin ice. So I don't want to crack through, you know. So I think I'm my biggest threat. I really do. I definitely think I'm my biggest threat.
What personal characteristics do you believe are most important to be a successful entrepreneur?
You have to be social. You have to learn how to be social. And you have to learn how, you know, when I was doing business classes in college, they told me that, you know, that it's the old cliche, the customer is always right. And realistically, that is kind of true. Even if the customer is not right, the customer is...
Hopefully I put it in the right spot. What advice would you give an aspiring entrepreneur?
If I were to give someone advice that wanted to start their own business and be an entrepreneur, my first two things to tell them would be that it's not going to be easy. You're not going to get paid what you want in the beginning. And it's going to be a lot of hard work. And there are going to be no shortcuts. Get rich quick schemes don't work. And you can only make as much as your product or service is valued at. That's why drug dealers go to jail and they go to prison and die because their product is not worth the amount that they're making. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to make sure that you're backing your product or your service. You know, don't be a slumlord. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that you believe in your product or your service. And at the same time, the first couple of years are going to be hard and you're not going to get the benefits and the results that you're going to want right away. And you're going to be alone a lot of the time. You're not going to fit in anywhere. You're not going to want to do the things that other people are going to want to do. Parties, social. But if you don't keep up with that social aspect, it'll also ruin your business. So it's almost like being in a room with 100 people, but you're really by yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how you're going to feel a lot of the times, and it can be very discouraging. But the opposite to that is if you keep on with that, when you're 40, 50, you won't have to work like everyone else. You know what I'm saying? So it may be hard at first, but you just gotta look at the bigger picture and that light at the end of the tunnel. So that you're not working at McDonald's for $8.50 an hour when you're 36 or 37 or 38. You know?
No.
Forget the money now. Put 5, 6, 7 years in now, and then it pays off in the end. But then 5, 6, 7 years, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, "Fuck, man, I remember when there was times." You know what I'm saying? So that's my advice: is just to keep at it and to work hard. It's not gonna be easy.
Okay. What is the most challenging part of being an entrepreneur?
Time. I have never realized how much time is important now that I'm 28 and doing what I've been doing for the last however many years. Like I said, I've had other businesses before. I've ran other things before. Some of them legal, some of them not. But either way, I've never noticed how much time is such a key. Like, so it's just, man, time, man. Really, you know, time with your family, time for your business, time for everything. It's such a hard thing to balance. Such a hard thing to balance, I think. And I think that's what people, I think that's where people fail the most, is they just don't know how to balance the time with everything. You know, you can't just have a successful business without having a successful family, without having a successful health, without having a, you know what I'm saying? All that things really do. So you have to learn how to time management and balance all those. I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah. What is the most satisfying part of being an entrepreneur?
The struggle. There's beauty in the struggle. J. Cole just came out with that album not too long ago, and that was one of the lines I heard, and I was like, man, he's so true. I'm the type of entrepreneur, I'm the type of person that when I get to my plateau, when I get to my top or whatever level of success that I felt like I've reached for that goal, it's not enough. And I look back and I'm like, now that I have it, it's like, okay, I've been fighting for this, okay? I've been fighting for this. I get it, and I'm like, this is not satisfying. The struggle to get this was satisfying, but actually having this is not satisfying. So I think there's beauty in the struggle. I think you fighting your way through it is the most satisfying. Because then, you know, it's like when you finish your paper, you worked really hard on it, you get an A. You're like, man, I put that time in, I put that work in. Now that you got that A, like, you're happy, but like, I want to do more work, you know? So the most satisfying thing for me is the struggle, is the race, is the chase. I like to hustle. I really do. I like to, you know, promote and go out there and get that next edge, an extra 2 likes, an extra customer, an extra, you know, anything like that. Like, I love that chase, that struggle. I love that shit.
I guess that's all of them.
That was it?
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's how you do it. All right, let me get you in my video. This was my interviewer today, everybody. Wait, hold on. Where is she? Mira, there she is. All right. She's what are you interviewing me for anyway?
For my business class.
For her business class. So look, I got to be lucky. I'm the entrepreneur that she picked for her business class. I feel super excited. Can I get a high five? Awesome.